guys, Hikaru Cosplay here. Today's vlog, I wanted to talk about something that has happened at the past couple smaller conventions, like small to medium-sized conventions that I've been to, Castle Point and ZenkaiCon. Normally, this is something I'd be like, oh wow, that was annoying, and like not really talk about it, just like gripe about it for like 5 minutes or whatever to my friends that were there and just not really mention it. But the fact that this has happened twice, and this has never really happened before until this year, the fact that it's happened twice, like within 2 conventions in a row, is kind of something that there can't be a coincidence. I've never had this happen before at larger conventions like New York Comic Con, only at medium-sized conventions like ZenkaiCon and smaller ones like Castle Point. Now, what I'm talking about is refusing for photos. I typically never refuse photos because I find it to be very flattering when someone asks for my photo at a con. It's very nice. The only times I've ever really had to refuse for a photo is if I'm running late for something. Typically, if I'm in the masquerade and I'm trying to get to like the green room at the right time, or my practice, or a panel that I have to host, or a meetup I have to get to, typically I try to show up somewhere like 30 minutes before I have to be there. So normally I don't have this problem. One time it was because I really needed food and I thought I was gonna pass out, but I try to take care of myself so that doesn't happen. Again, that's really rare. It's very rare for me to have to refuse a photo because I'm running so late to something. I try not to be late so I don't have to do that. And typically when if you've never really cosplayed at a convention or really had your photo taken much at a convention, it's kind of a struggle when you're walking along and someone asks for your photo. Again, I'm not saying this like, oh my god, it's so annoying that everyone asks for my photo. No, I'm just pointing out that it's, you know, a bit of a process. If I'm walking along, typically I've got a big heavy bag, I may have some props, I may have to carry like a part of my costume, because with me it's go big or go home. It's very rare for me to do something that's small. And, you know, it takes a couple seconds to put the bag down, adjust your wig or your costume, get the pose ready. It's, you know, never really just 30 seconds. A lot of people who don't cosplay don't realize that it's a bit of a process. You know, especially if I had been walking around. If I had just been standing around, it's like, oh, okay, I can do that for 5 seconds. If I've been walking somewhere, like walking around the dealer's room or whatever, it, you know, will take a couple seconds. And a lot of the times, especially at bigger conventions, once you stop for a photo, 50 other people will show up. This usually really only happens. This is a bigger thing for me at New York Comic Con because, again, I go big or go home. I'm that person at New York Comic Con whose costume is so big, I can't go into the artist alley. I can't walk. I'm not talking the Hulkbuster size big, but I'm talking I can't move. I don't know what I was thinking, but again, go big or go home. So there have been a couple moments at like New York Comic Con where I stayed in a spot for 30 minutes because one person asked me for a photo and 50 other people showed up. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, look how popular I am. Oh, no, I'm just pointing out that it's never just 1 second. Stopping for a photo is never just 1 second. It never takes 30 seconds, really, unless I had been standing there and just hanging out, because I do that a lot at cons where I'll just stand around because I don't typically go to panels as much. It's just something that I've just not really interests me a lot, and walking around is tiring. Again, it's a process. So like at New York Comic Con, I'll have like 30-minute downtimes where I'm just kind of standing around with friends and we're hanging out and chatting or whatever, waiting for someone. Because to be constantly moving at a con is a lot. I've been beating around the bush about this topic for pretty much the whole video, and I apologize for that, but I'm just trying to set a premise. So the past 2 times at ZenkaiCon and Castle Point happened once per each. I was trying to get somewhere, like to the costume contest for Castle Point and the masquerade for Zenkai, or like whatever. I'm just trying to get there. Like once I get there, I can stop for a photo. But I'm trying to get from point A to point B and I feel like I'm running late. And if you don't know me, I get a little crazy about time. I'm serious, I get a little crazy. I feel bad for my friends because I get that crazy. And if I can't carry my phone with me at a con, like my costume prevents me from doing that, I will ask someone every 5 minutes what time it is. Unless we don't have anything to do. Like if we've got a photo shoot at noon and it's 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to noon, I'm gonna ask you every 5 minutes what time it is, and it's annoying, I know, but I can't help myself. It's just who I am. It's really bad. So I get like worked up if we're running late for something or someone's not answering their phone and they're supposed to meet me. So I get like a little worked up. But when I refuse for a photo because of that, I always feel really bad because I feels like, you know, my own fault that I let the time get away from me and I let myself get this stressed out. So I'm usually very polite and apologetic. You know, if someone asks for a photo and I can't do it, just be like, I'm really sorry. You know, I apologize a lot. I'm really sorry, I'm running late, I'm so sorry. If I see you again, then I'm more than willing to. I'm really, really sorry. Like, I apologize a lot because I feel bad that I have to refuse this photo. And 95% of the time, people will be like, oh, okay. And sometimes, a lot of the times, actually, people will find me again if it's a smaller con. If it's a bigger con, I feel really bad. I've only really had to refuse a photo like once at New York Comic Con. And again, it was because I needed to get to a photo shoot or I just needed to eat, otherwise I was gonna pass out. I have low blood pressure, so it's not like the 5-second rule for a photo. I have low blood pressure. When I say I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna pass out. Just clarifying. I'm not some sort of diva and I'm over embellishing. No, I'm gonna pass out. It's gonna happen. So, the past time at ZenkaiCon and at Castle Point, there was just one person, one guy. It was a guy who, when I said, I'm sorry, I am running late, they were like, oh, well, it's 1 second. Oh, come on, oh, come on. Just berating me over and over again, practically trying to follow me. Thank God they didn't, otherwise I would have whooped them. Just, come on, like just essentially trying to guilt trip me and my friends. Come on, it'll just take 1 second. It's just one photo, it's just one photo. Maybe you had to be there, but that is super obnoxious and I really, really don't like to be guilt tripped. That's a huge pet peeve of mine. The second someone tries to make me feel guilty, I shut down because no, you cannot force me to feel bad for you. I'm sorry. And no, like I said before, it doesn't take 1 second. I'm carrying a shit ton of stuff. I've got my friend who typically carries all my stuff for me. Who am I saying? I don't really typically carry my stuff. It's bad. I feel guilty. See, that's something I feel guilty for. He doesn't try to make me feel guilty. I feel guilty because I feel bad about it. It's about my personal feelings. Sorry about the weird guilt rant. But it just, don't try and make me feel bad about refusing for a photo. That's kind of a crappy thing to do. Like, you don't know. It really doesn't take 30 seconds, a second to take one photo. And one photo a lot of the time means more photos. And if I'm already running late, I can't really spare, I'm sorry, but I can't spare that minute or 30 seconds or whatever. Like, if I'm telling you that I have to go somewhere, I have to go somewhere. I'm not just refusing a photo to refuse a photo. I'm really sorry. And if this is a small con, chances are you're probably gonna see me again. Just saying. So please, like, be respectful. Both parties I'm talking about, both parties, please be respectful about taking photos. Like, if you need to refuse a photo, I'm gonna say, yeah, be polite. Don't just go, no, I can't have a photo. No, you can't have one. Unless that person is being rude and is trying to shove the camera in your face saying, oh, just 1 second. No, that's one. If any of those guys had actually started to follow me, I would have laid down the law. I would have laid down the law. Because let me tell you, you continuously berating me over and over again and telling me over and over again and just trying to freaking guilt trip me is holding me up, and that's gonna make me angry. Like, I'm telling you I don't have time, so why are you wasting my time talking about how it's gonna be so fast? No, that's counterproductive. I mean, I posted about this on Facebook to my personal page, my personal profile or whatever, like a week or so ago, a couple days ago, and one of my friends said that she had something very similar happen to her at one of the same cons, and like, she would have her friend like literally go up to that guy and say, you need to back up. I don't know what's up with it. This is like a new rude thing for people to do. I mean, like I said, 95% of people are okay with it yet, and understand, like, I've got places to be. I'm sorry I'm running late and I can't take this photo. And just, if you're asking for a photo, again, this is like the big thing. You need to be polite. Again, if someone refuses for a photo, there's probably a pretty good reason they're saying no photos, please. And if you do end up taking the photo, again, I'm just happy that these guys asked. Frankly, it could have been worse. There are a lot of people, the bigger epidemic, of course, is people who don't even ask for photos, who just walk up, click, and I'm like, it's just, please, do you really want a photo of me like this? No! If you ask for the photo, I will adjust to myself and pose much nicer and make a much nicer face. I don't understand. Like, I was standing once and people would like literally walk by and just click and walk away. I'm like, what is the point? Are you running late? Can you not spare 30 seconds to ask me for a photo? I don't get it. Both things are very rude. Very, very rude. Just please ask before you take a photo. See, here's the thing. I understand the allure of candid shots. I understand. I like a lot of candid shots, but there is just a certain level that I can take. And just, if I make eye contact with you and I see you taking that photo without permission, you're probably gonna get a really bad facial expression, my back, or a middle finger. I'm sorry. Just ask before you take a photo. If I am sitting on the ground, there's a good reason. I'm probably tired. Don't just take that photo. If I'm eating, especially if I'm eating, do not take that photo. Especially if I am eating, do not take that photo. Has this happened to any of you? Please do share. And if you want me to touch upon any other annoying convention stories or tips on how not to be rude at a convention or rude when taking photos, please ask away. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!